Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This happens to be your first time here. My name's Dave, and on this channel I like to cover my passion for Lego investing, my Bricklink store, and general toy investment or random investments as well. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Lego investment side of the channel. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about a new survey that just came out on Lego.com where you can earn some free VIP reward points for taking the survey. But specifically, there's one, I'm going to call it a question, but there's one detail that I found within there that I think you will find very interesting. I know I did. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, share my thoughts. Now, before we jump into the video, I do want to ask, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it. We just celebrated our 1,500 subscriber, so our next good celebration is going to be right around our 2K mark. So anything that you can do there will be helpful towards the channel, as well as clicking on that like button below will help our channel and our videos get noticed by other people and bring the YouTube algorithm magic to this channel. Thank you so much for all of you who have already chosen to do that, and thanks to those of you who are doing that right now. Now let's go ahead and start talking about this interesting topic. All right, so the survey, the Lego survey that they have right now, which all of you should go and fill out this survey so you can get an idea for what they're asking. It was a little bit lengthy of a survey, but you do get 50 free VIP points for filling it out, which is great. Basically, to get there, you go to Lego Shop at Home, you go to your VIP account, and then there's a button there called Get More Points under your VIP account, and you'll see a survey towards the top of that. Click on that, it takes you to another website that you go through the whole thing. You do have to enter your email address at the end of the survey that's associated with your VIP account. That's how they attribute those points to you, because they used a third-party survey company to do this survey, I guess. But the survey is pretty long, asks a lot of questions. Honestly, it was kind of interesting going through it all because I think it gives you a little bit of insight into some of the things that Lego is thinking. They had a lot of stuff in there about Roblox and Barbie, which is kind of interesting because those are themes that at least right now, Lego doesn't own. So I don't know if these are ones that they have already acquired the licenses for, or if they're ones they're thinking of. I guess we have to wait and see. But specifically what I want to talk a little bit about is at the end of the survey. The last series of questions had to do with a subscription-based model. A lot of things like Netflix, Amazon, right? These are subscription-based services where you pay either monthly or yearly for the rights or for these additional features associated with that platform. Now, Lego and their VIP program has always been free, and a lot of the items represented in this list are some of those free features that we know of and get today. Things like early access to sets, free gift with purchases, access to exclusive sets. I'm assuming that means just exclusive, available only at Lego.com. Access to interviews and early information. Right? A lot of these are features that we are used to having just by being a VIP member. Some people even more so if you're in the LAN, the Lego Ambassador Network. Obviously, you have access to even more than the general public. And so maybe they're thinking about taking and merging some of that information in to give you a little bit more access. They didn't go into a lot of detail. But basically what they did is they gave you a series of, I want to say it was somewhere between 5 and 10 different option configurations, and the prices for them constantly changed, and it was really trying to give you a bunch of different variations to see where value in a subscription service may lie. So they would have things in there like the ones that I was focusing a lot on were the things like free gift with purchase. Well, that is a service that A, I like getting for free, but B, would be very important that if I didn't have access to free gift with purchases, well, I probably wouldn't choose that particular subscription plan. Or two, The exclusive products, right? If in order to order a Lego.com exclusive item, I have to be a subscription member, well, I'm probably going to be a subscription member. Now, if there's two different subscription options, I'm going to likely choose the one that gives me access to those features because that's the reason I go to Lego, right? I go there to purchase sets, ideally those retiring, and those that are more exclusive and not as accessible to the general public. Also, ideally, getting some free gift with purchases on top of it as well. That's a nice perk. Even that isn't what I want to talk about. There was one additional option in that same vein that I was very focused on, and it was the concept to order sets from a backlog catalog. The ability to order sets that are no longer available. Now, they didn't say a whole lot about what that feature really was, aside from, I think they're toying with the idea of being able to sign up for a service, and it ranged anywhere from $2.99 a month to, I think the highest was like $7.99 a month, which, whatever that equates to on a yearly basis, about $80 to $100. But the concept of paying for a subscription that then allows you to order sets that have already been retired or that Lego is not making anymore, that really struck my interest. Because as a Lego investor, right, we strive off the fact of buying a Lego set, holding on till it until it's not available anymore, right? That's why on Lego's website they have a retiring soon section. That's why they call it the vault. It even states the term, buy this set before it's no longer available. Unless, maybe, you have this subscription plan. And then you might have access to it. Now, I gave it a little bit of additional thought. Do I think that Lego's going to open their entire catalog? No, there's absolutely no way, because I don't think that Lego is going to be producing bricks per order or per request. What I could see Lego doing is possibly maintaining the database of all the pieces they currently have in production and allowing you, the subscription holder, to make a purchase for a select series of old sets that they could fulfill based on their current part run. Now, I want to say that this would have to exclude anything that included printed tiles, because a printed tile has to be done in the factory. Now, a stickered set, I think, would open up. I think they could actually do stickered sets in this vein, right? So if you had an old Star Wars set, let's say, where all the pieces happen to be in production right now, Lego may be able to offer that old Star Wars set for sale to its subscription members, because all they really need to do is package up that collection of pieces as well as get a sticker sheet. Now, I'm going to assume that they're going to put some blanket, hey, here's a link to the instructions that you can get from Lego Instructions, little app that they have. I don't think they're going to be reprinting all the old instructions. That would be too specialty of a thing. I also don't think they're going to come in really nice marketed boxes based on what the old box looked like. I think it's going to be more in a similar vein to what they did on Bricklink, where they have the white boxes, maybe with an image of what the set is printed on the front, with a little bit of generic information about it. But you may be able to soon purchase a retired set based on current piece production and get it in a different type of box, which I think as a general consumer is kind of a neat concept. I'm not sure how many people would really pay for that service. And so I really think that's going to play a big part. If it's $7.99 a month to have the rights to purchase old sets, even at MSRP, a select group, that's pretty expensive, right? You might be better off saying, look, I'm going to buy 3 or 4 retired sets over the course of a year, maybe. I would rather just get them on the secondhand market, which is what my next point is. As a Lego investor, or somebody who flips or resells Lego in general, I think it's at first glance, it's a scary concept because, right, what we do is we hold on to this set so that we can get profit out of this after it's no longer available. But if it stays available a lot longer, or forever potentially with some sets, that means some of the stuff that we bought may never increase in value to be worth dumping money into it. Now, do I think it's likely that this is going to stomp out the secondhand or investment market? No, I really don't, because I don't think it's feasible for Lego to reproduce every one of those Lego sets with all those piece counts. Specifically, the printed pieces, I think, are going to be a real key element if you have sets with printed pieces. I think it's going to greatly reduce the odds and likeliness that Lego will offer that as a set. But I think it will cause some more delays because a lot of the sets, as they get retired, those pieces stay in production, right? Lego doesn't roll over its piece count on a regular basis, which means maybe instead of the retirement to 2 year after retirement range for a set to mature in value to the point of being worth selling, it may drag that out to a 3 or 4 year waiting or holding pattern, which is going to drastically impact that second market. You're going to have to hold sets a lot longer, which means you're going to have to question, right, if putting your money into Lego, if it's going to take 4 years to be able to 2x your money, is that worth it versus other potential investments? Now, I don't know of a whole lot of other potential investments that even over a 4-year window, you could 2x your money. They're probably out there. I know that there's some people that want to end up talking about Bitcoin and how you could, whatever it was, 1,000x your money over the course of 18 months. But what I'm going to say to that is that that's not real, in that you can't go back in time. Anything that we look at historically, we could come up with a scenario, right? There is probably a Lego set that if you had gone back and purchased, you could at least 100x your money or something ridiculous in a fairly short time window. You can't look at it from today looking back. You have to look at, in general, what the market is trending, in general, what the market is doing. Because otherwise, we would all go back, we would invest in Google, we would invest in Apple, we would invest in Tesla or SpaceX or whatever company out there that we could, because we could see exactly how much return. Even though at the time, you wouldn't have had that foresight, or at least most of us wouldn't. And that's what Lego's all about. It's the same thing. We purchase this product not because we know it's going to 3x, 4x, but we have a good idea based on historical trends, just like the stock market, that there's a really good shot and that most sets do tend to increase in value to make it worth our time, energy, and effort. And I think that Lego, as a general rule, looking at it historically, has performed a little bit better than the general stock market. That doesn't mean that there's not cryptos and that there's not certain stocks that you could have invested in that would make for a better investment. But as a general rule, if you're diversified across the entire thing, I think Lego's performed very well. But getting back on point here, I digressed a little bit. Do I think this is going to crush the secondhand market? No. But I think it is going to have an impact depending on how they go about it. If it ends up being to where they have one set that they offer from the backlog per month, then I don't think it's going to be a big deal at all. Because out of all the sets that are out there, are you really going to carry a subscription plan to get one set a month that you may or may not be interested in? Probably not. And so I think that that's the key. It's how does Lego choose to execute on this? How much do they want to mess with that secondhand market? You got to kind of also think about it as though if Lego really starts playing that game and getting in that secondhand market, how much of their current market sales are they going to see decrease because of investors like me or resellers like you who are buying the product that's currently available? If people don't see the value holding on to it, they're not going to buy it today. If they don't buy it today, Lego's going to see a negative impact, which means I don't think they would continue that program very long after seeing those kind of results. So that's my thoughts on this particular Lego survey, and specifically the concept of Lego selling retired sets. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this topic, and hopefully we can continue this dialogue and get a little bit better understanding for what Lego is thinking as more news continues to roll out. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.